Hello? Hello? Hi, Amika! I missed you too. I'm happy you're here. No obligation to stay if you gotta go. Happy to see you. Hey, Jaden! Good to see you. It's nice to be back. How's everybody?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Where's that coming from?
Hi, Amika.
Where's that coming from?
I missed you too.
Hello?
You're here.
Do you guys hear
No
that?
obligation to stay if you gotta go. Happy to see you. Hey, Jaden. Good to see you.
That's
Nice
coming
to
from
be
a
back.
window.
How's everybody? Hello? Oh, hello. Where's that coming from? Hi, Amika.
It's echoing.
I missed you too.
I don't know where it's coming from.
You're here.
Do you guys hear
No
that?
obligation to stay if you gotta go. Happy to see you. Hey,
Wait, is that this?
Good to see you.
Found it. It was coming from my phone.
That's coming from a window. That's coming from a window.
No. Now what we're not going to do is that. Me and my hot mess self. Oh, I can't. Okay. Wow. Hi. We're back. That was so confusing. There were at least 3. I was multiplying. I'm disappointed I just watched Flash season 9. Oh my god, it's horrible. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I don't know about that. I haven't watched that. Hello. Hello, the echo. There are 2 SLs in the room, now 3. Oh my god. That surprised me. Okay, so that was coming from my cellular device. I thought it was coming from my computer. I was so confused. I was like, oh, it's a tab I have open. That's a window or a tab. Nope. False. It was coming from my cell phone, which was right underneath my microphone. I did not realize that my stream wasn't muted when I pulled it up, and that it would play once my phone turned off. So, surprise, surprise. I'll just start with the pleasantries. I'm doing okay. Could be doing better. Could be doing worse. Not too worried about it. And now my music stopped. Why'd my music stop? An error occurred. Well, figure it out. Okay. Is it gonna be one of those nights? Might be one of those nights. I finally have everything up and running. Think it's gonna work. Think it's gonna be great. And it's like, nope, here's a problem. Whatever. We might be on YouTube as well. Not like I'm able to actually, effectively confirm that. I was so disappointed with Flash season. I decided I'll write it myself. I like that. I like that spirit. I like your attitude, Jaden. You think being so close to the ocean, but I've only heard it once. You've only heard it once. Being so close to the ocean. The ocean sounds like the ocean most of the time. Most of the time. Are we on YouTube? Does someone want to confirm that? Because I think that's where my voice was coming from when I pulled it up. Alright, phone is muted now. Looks like we're still live. I'm going to be monitoring that on my phone. But I'm not going to be looking at my phone, obviously. Because you never know. Last time I tried to go live, there was a whole lot of technical difficulties. I need to be above it all, guys. I'm so just like, nope. Alright, enough about that. I'm doing okay. I'm ready to get back into the swing of streaming. As if I was ever in this swing of it at all. Been dipping my toes in a bunch of different areas. Oh god, am I buffering now? No, don't. Stop being distracted. I gotta give myself 7 rocks. I have 7 rocks. Let's give ourselves 9 rocks. There we go. because of the technical difficulties being a distraction. I knew you were because of YouTube. Perfect. I try to make the YouTube stream look nice, but it refuses to look nice. I give up. Probably I'm gonna end up being kicked off YouTube because of the music copyright issues. And I have a feeling the music's so loud. Take it down just a touch. Yeah. YouTube's just weird. I'm technically streaming to YouTube, dual streaming to YouTube. YouTube's music stuff is a lot weirder. So, who knows how long I'll actually end up being on YouTube, because they like to copy strike me for no good reason. Yes, everything I say it is the filthiest. The way Filthy Frank says it. Boss. Please don't call me boss. Don't call me boss. I'm not your boss. Not yet. I don't want to be. I don't. You shouldn't think of me as your boss. We're collaborators. We have equal stakes in this. Which, by the way, I've been doing a lot of reading lately. And reading from people who are my friends. That I had their projects sitting around for a long time and was like, I'm going to get back into this. And I may or may not do some more reading tonight. But I'm going to try to catch some words first. And it's just kind of whatever tonight. It's nothing super serious or significant. Unless you want it to be. I'm just kind of like, let it be what it is. The words are going to be rough. I know that, but yee. It's good to see you, Emika. I missed you too. Jaden, I'm happy you're here. Good to know that. Yeah. Yes, I have been reading other works by other authors and artists that I happen to know. Not just picking up anything. My ADHD is what it's always been, but it's been particularly hard because It's fine. You're good. Have at it. Oh, I was gonna say, I got a couple of episodes into, what is it? What is it called? The one in your 3x3. The one on Netflix. Is it just Mononoke? Is it called Mononoke, or is there more to it? The really stylistic anime that we watched a couple episodes together. I sat down and I watched like maybe 5 episodes or 6. I think I got a good way through. Because each one is like, the story is like a couple of episodes at a time, right? So I think I watched more than that. I watched like 3 different stories. I watched the one that you watched with us, and then I watched the one after that, and then I think I finished the one where they were all on the boat. There was like a ship one. Yeah, Mononoke. So far, I've been liking what I've been seeing. Oh my god. Phone's going over there. Let's get distracted. This is why I can't stream, guys. I get distracted too hard. I will absolutely send you what I think. I decided I didn't really like the way I was doing it before, and so for a little while I'm reading and giving feedback to other people, which, by the way, I don't necessarily think I give very good feedback. But it's all subjective, so if it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. But I started to I started to just leave comments at the end of chapters once I finished. I tried to like sum up my thoughts on the whole chapter. Instead of finding little individual spots, that felt like it was too much. It felt like it was too much work, and I wanted to get into the story. And if I was leaving kind of like my first go through of your story, Emika, the first time I went through your book, I left a lot of little things all over, and I just went, I'm not able to get into it and immerse myself in the story if I'm constantly pulling myself back out and leaving comments. I think I need to sit with the whole chapter, then leave a thought, then sit with the whole chapter, then leave the thought at the end. So now I'm starting to condense my thoughts into one spot at the end of every chapter. So that's what I'm trying right now. And I like it better. But to be very fair, I have been reading a lot on the bus. Because that's just when I have time. So, since I don't drive so much anymore, I ride the bus a lot. I have been making sure I have everybody's stuff on my tablet. And I've been pulling out my tablet and I've been trying to read on the bus. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I kind of got into it today, coming home. And I purposely left off when the tension was sort of building again, like something was about to like really go crazy. And I'm like, this is where I need to stop, because then when I jump back in, I know exactly where I left off, because I don't know how long it will be until I get back into this. So I'm trying to make, I can outline it for you. I'm trying to make my writing, author, publisher workday 50-50. It's writing for half the day and then reading for half the day. And reading can be anything I need to read. It can be anything I've been sitting on reading. And I just try to I try not to let the ADHD, well, I can't try. It just is my brain. But I try not to judge myself too harshly for how much I get done. If you've been following me in my author journey outside of, if you know who I am outside of this VTuber thing, you'll know that I've been working on strategy, and I found a strategy that's starting to work, and I like it, and it's been consistent, and I'm getting more done than I ever did before, and I'm kind of just trying to write on the coattails of that. So that's the update. SL, you need to combine chapters. You should have waited. I've noticed you've been combining chapters, and you added stuff in. Like, when I got back into your book, I noticed how I was saying, like, some of your chapters could be combined. And I saw that you did that. And then I saw that you added scenes, and I was like, this is cool. I like this. I like what you've been doing, Emika. I like what you did with your last edition. So, you've been waiting. And you know what? You've been waiting pretty long time, but there have been people who've been waiting even longer. And I'm wondering, it's going to be one of those things where I go, here's what I think of that thing you gave me 2 years ago. And they're going to go, oh, what made you finally read it? I'm like, kicking myself in the ass, finally. It doesn't come easy to me, but we're getting there. I'm very, very, very sorry. I'm also working on my own book. And that book, no matter what I do, it's like pulling teeth. I think it's going to be one of the most painful projects I ever do. And it's somewhere between I'm excited to get it done and I just want it done so bad because it's so painful to write. But that's what we've been sitting with. I sat with it today. I really don't want to sit with it during the stream. I feel like it's too much pressure. So I'm going to write something else during the stream. But I've been working on my book. My book is just like, it sucks, man. Not the story. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell whether the story sucks or not anymore because I'm just like, I hate writing this thing. But I have to get it done or else I feel like it'll haunt me if I don't. And maybe that's being too dramatic, but I don't care. That's just the truth. been thinking about Midnight Duke, but it's going to be a while, but I have thought of the funniest shit for his return. Yay! I'm excited. You know what? It's all good, girl. It's all good. Because you know what I'm going to need to do? I'm going to need to reread it. Not the whole thing. I don't need to read the whole Midnight Duke. But maybe like the past scene or two. Because we were kind of in the middle of a lot of chaos. We were like in the middle of the action, which I think is helpful to like back up again. But yeah, I'm definitely going to need to read it back and refresh a little bit, which is helpful. But that's been fun as well. What happened? About what? The Midnight Duke, about my book, about me helping Emika with hers, and me taking forever to read anything just because my ADHD is so bad. All kinds of stuff. The fact of the matter is, I've been a bad editor, a bad boss, frankly, a bad friend too. And I've been holding on to a lot of people's work that I promised I would read and focus on. And now I'm finally, after a very long time, getting around to actually reading it. And I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. But I'm also trying to not lose myself in the chaos of it all. Because part of what's... I get that thing. I don't know if anyone else relates here. I get that thing where you're reading something and you're actually reading it, but you're not comprehending. And then you realize you read a whole paragraph and a half. You're addicted to dirty Dr. Peppers. I mean, that sounds delicious, to be fair. Dr. Pepper is delicious. Aw, you're kind. You guys are... This is why we're still friends, because you guys put up with my bullshit better than anyone. Everyone else would have been like, I don't have time for this. And I'm like, I've reached the point where I'm like, I love you guys, and I care about you guys, but if you're just done with my bullshit, fair. I don't blame you in the slightest, and I'm not going to try to make you sit with me, stay with me, or whatever. I literally went and sat down on Tuesday, and I planned out work days, work schedules, streaming schedules. I worked it all out. And now for the next 3 weeks, I'm trying it out. Because that's the way I have to be. Right. The hardest thing of this rewrite is bringing back old villains and remembering why they were villains. Huh. You must have many villains. I'm having trouble... I think what we should do is we should sit down and write for a little bit and then take a break. And during my break, I'm going to bitch about my problem with my book. Hopefully not in too much detail. But basically where I'm sitting with it and then going, I need advice. Sometimes I forget I'm a completely different part of my country. Yeah, right? I read things back. I shouldn't go into detail because we should get to writing. I should write a little bit. And you know what? Reading and writing are both completely valid at this point. It's 50-50 for me. Yes, there's lots of things I need to write. But I really need to sit and read too. Because that's my problem is I'll write a bunch of things and then I'll never look at it again. And then when I sit down to keep going on something, it could be many, many weeks since I worked on it. I don't remember what happened, and if I'm not comfortable sitting down and reading it without picking it apart, I'm just winging it again. There's too many decisions to make. I think I get decision fatigue, and then by the time I'm trying to write something, I'm like, I can't make up my mind. You are closer to me. I have not moved. I have stayed put in this hovel, in this woods, in the great northern, Midwestern woods. I'm wondering if my accent's a little stronger these days. I don't think I've changed the way I speak. But sometimes I wonder if my Midwestern accent comes out. I didn't think I had a very strong accent. Maybe with some certain words I say. Anyway. You gotta sit down, you gotta read your stuff. And I've been reading some of my book, and the thing is, and this is what I really don't like, is I'm trying to rewrite, and I like some of the stuff I already wrote, and I'm going, do I just not rewrite this and I just leave it the way it is? And I'm like, no, this needs a rewrite, because there's something that can happen here that's much more interesting, and you need to make the more interesting thing happen. Or, it's fine. What I wrote was fine. It stands up on its own 2 feet. But those 2 feet could be wearing, like, cleats, They could be a lot. Ooh, that's almost 1111. If you were 2 miles further north, it would be 4 ones. That's still pretty far, but not terribly. Except that you write, you can change it and then add things later, like me. Very true. Very true. I'm also changing the tense of a lot of chapters because I wrote initially from first person point of view, and now I'm changing it to third person. And so sometimes I'll see problems of words that I forgot to conjugate the right way. I'm changing pronouns and things like that. My superhero story is finally done with what I dub actually one, where he gets his powers. It took so long. Yeah. I'm proud of you though, Jaden. You guys have a mental clarity that I just haven't been able to get yet. It's very hard won for me. I feel like I understand so many things, but when it comes to the book I'm trying to write, it's like there's too many questions and not enough answers. And I'm like, you come up with the answers. I'm like, I can't find an answer that I like. I can't find an answer that gives me everything I need. And I think I just need to start from the end that I want and then just work backwards. And I just need to let the story be kind of I guess. I don't know. I'm trying not to get too emotionally invested in the outcome. I think that's really holding me back because sometimes my emotions can almost act like a block, like I run into a wall. I have no clarity, just one idea, and just try to think how I gotta get there. I like that. I like that way of thinking, Emeka. I'm gonna steal that from you. Just have one idea and think about how to get there. That's really what I need. I need focus. My story could go too many different ways, and I'm going cross-eyed, trying to figure it out. I wrote the first draft from a very, internal place, and now I'm trying to externalize it and give it more... I'm trying to have more moving parts, and I'm trying to justify different moving parts, then go, do I waste time writing this, or do I go somewhere else? And more questions than answers. I'm currently reading my superhero story to refresh my memory on everything I've written and see if I let any unanswered answered later on. Very good idea, Jaden. Would you guys like to do a sprint to work on some of that stuff? It can be reading, it can be writing. I'm going to sit down and write a little. I also made a rule that when I'm writing during stream, it is whatever it needs to be. It's not something super serious because I refuse to have all these distracting things going on while I'm trying to write something I think is very important. So it kind of just is whatever you want it to be. Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. I mean, stay in the chat if you want to. Keep me on in the background if you want to. Do whatever you gotta do, girl. I'm gonna catch some words tonight. I'm only gonna be streaming for a couple hours, so we'll get some. We can do long sprints. We can do short sprints. I'm just happy you're here. I love your emotes. Right, just right. Okay. Okay, guys. I gotta make it small again. There we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. We gotta figure out... I think I remember how to do this. Timer. Pomo. Jaden, is 10 minutes okay? Something short? Ooh. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Though, to be fair, I did work on that recently. I did work on that. 10 minutes is perfect. Okay, just a quick warm-up. Yep. It could go up. All right, I actually can't remember if this works. Let's see. Zero of 10. No, we don't want 10. Okay, so timer, Pomo. We'll say 0 out of, we'll say 4. There, that's better. And then I think it's just timer. 10 minutes. All right, here we go. Best of luck to you. I'll keep chat off to the side. Of course, of course. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You lost your charger. That sucks. Are you able to retrace your steps? Do you take your computer public places? Could you have left it somewhere public? I really shouldn't be talking during this. During the sprints, if I reply, I'll reply in the chat. you. Not too bad, not too bad. Hi! I'm here. I tried to call you out on my chat, but it didn't work for YouTube. But I see you're coming from YouTube. I saw you come from YouTube. Jaden beat you to it, Sean. Hi, Ghost. Happy you're here. You guys just missed Emika. Emika was just here. You guys are late. I've been on for 45 minutes. I'm kidding. Guys. Though for real, Emika was here. They had to go to work. To get that sweet, sweet cash. I also see a new friend in the chat. It's okay to chime in, you know. I believe it should work. Hold on. There is a way to sound off in the chat. If you haven't been here, this should be called Coven Check-In. If you want to do that, I'll give a little demonstration. Thank you so much for subscribing, Sean. Now that may have worked, that may not have worked. But if you're new to the stream, it's okay to do that. If you just want to hang and not talk, that's fine. You said you were coming back. I don't know what that meant today. Here's the thing. I want there to be an option for me to put a Google Calendar into Twitch. And for Twitch to reflect and change via my Google Calendar. That would be the easiest way for me. Instead of going into Twitch and like manually putting in every single stream. That's just too much work for me. I don't want to have to do that. I've just decided, no, that's too much. But I do have a Google Calendar I'm working on at the moment. And I have about 3 weeks worth of streams planned. And maybe I'll find a way to share that Google Calendar and you guys will see it. Now that I'm at the hardest part of my superhero story, the middle, it's going to be hard because the beginning I mostly had a plan, but for the middle, I only have a premise. When it comes to the middle, I'm learning a lot. I've learned a lot of things over the years, but now I'm starting to try to put them into practice. And when you put something into practice, it's different. And there's no easy way to do. When it comes to writing, and I'm just going to put this out here, a lot of writing rules and a lot of writing advice is just guidelines. You shouldn't hold to a writing, unless it's for academic purposes, you shouldn't hold to a rule too harshly while you're writing a book. You should just kind of take it as a suggestion. And it isn't until you're just about ready to be done with it, when it's in the editing phase, that you apply some more hard and fast rules. But while you're trying to make the book itself, don't hold to any rules too harshly. But think of this. Your Act 2 is your story. The Act 2 of your book is the story. In this traditional sense, it's 50% of your book. So the meat of your story is Act 2. If you're not sure what Act 2 is, it's the consequence of Act 1, and Act 3 is the culmination of Act 2. It's a domino effect. So what have you set up in Act 1? Act 2 is filled with all the consequences of Act 1. Yes, pirate guidelines and writer guidelines are pretty much the same thing. I didn't put a timer for break. I guess we'll do another 10 minutes for break. Or did I mess that up? I think I messed that up. Oh no, it says focus. Never mind. I'm gonna end it. That's not how that works. Let it run. Let it go. I forgot how it works. It's been so long. But continuing things is hard. I know. Think of it. Right, exactly. Jay, think this. You've crossed over to the other side and you must master both worlds. Song request is now paused. That's not what I meant. There are rules somewhere. I have them on my computer somewhere that explain the rules of this stupid thing, but I can't figure it out right now. I'm not worried about it. We're gonna let it go. Yeah, no problem. I have a reveal I'm really proud about. Well, that's good. You could be thinking about how to build up to a reveal. Because we like build up to things. I'm gonna be giving guidelines and advice to Jaden, and then at the same time I'm giving it to myself because I know I need ideas and advice. This general, again, rules that don't actually apply. You could do the hero's journey, and a lot of these things make sense with the hero's journey. They coincide with it. Is the middle of your story something that makes a lot of sense and that a lot of readers pick up on really easily is right in the middle of your Act 2. You have a before and you have an after in your Act 2. There's everything leading up to the middle and then everything as a result of the middle of the book. And the middle of the book is a moment where your character has to self-reflect. Where your main character has to sit and look at themselves in the mirror and go, maybe I'm the problem. And then they're having to face their demons, kind of. So you have to think about that scene. What does that mean for that character? What would it mean to actually have them face their own issues, face head on? And it doesn't have to be like very obvious, but it can be kind of like maybe a friend or maybe a villain comes up to your superhero and just like doesn't just like destroy them physically, but just lays into them verbally like, this is your problem. Or maybe this is where they get defeated by the villain, and the villain like kind of teaches them a lesson, like, this is why I defeated you, because you do this. And it's like your character's like, oh, I do actually do that. That's a big problem. And that's the middle of your book. And then after that middle part, it's your character deciding to turn a new leaf and try to work on themselves. And that's kind of a universal... It's kind of a universal storyline that... Or a character arc that a lot of people, when they read it, they get it. Like, it feels familiar to them. Thanks for the frog leg. Thank you so much. I'm going to add that right away. And of course my GIFs aren't working. Frog leg is second at the top. This is a meeting with the goddess. And a mushroom. Thank you. I was bothered by the uneven numbers of things. Okay, we'll fix that right now. You also gave me frog legs and mushroom. Yeah, we gotta get rid of these ones. You're so right. My computer updated and it deleted a bunch of my streaming assets. So all of the stuff you see right now, I downloaded like 50% of it off of Canva. Because I had to go into the original place I made it and download it again because it got deleted. The question, Jay, is what does Jay want right now? Please continue. Oh, wait, now what did you say? Update? My computer had to update itself, and in order to update, I had to delete a bunch of stuff, and it deleted things at random. I believe so, yes. Am I on Windows 11? I'm scared to check. I have so many things open right now, I'm afraid to open another thing. You guys are going to drop some bomb on me like, Windows 11 is all hacked by AI now, or Jeff Bezos, yeah. Because if you are, you got to delete a bunch of AI bloatware. Oh, yeah. I tried to deactivate a lot of Microsoft things that I don't use. I tend not to use a whole lot of Microsoft things. I tried to just like deactivate it all, but you're right. You probably have to go in, and so far so good. We're not doing too terrible right now. It was before the update that was really rough. Sure. I'd be happy with any help there. That's good. That's good advice too. What does your character want so bad that screw the consequences? Get themselves into trouble. Did you give me any? No, it's the frog legs and the mushrooms. I'm just making sure I didn't lose any. Lazy man who has not updated wins again. Exactly. But the thing is, the updates always come. They always come for your ass. They'll be like, you want to have a computer? You must update. You no update, you no have computer no more. I give you worthless hunk of junk that you pay money to put energy into. Your light box no longer work. Yes. I am struggling with the same thing, which is how do I raise the stakes? And there are external stakes and there are internal stakes. What does the character need? What does the character want? How does the writer get the needs and wants confused? And then at some point, I guess we all have to switch to Linux. Probably. The glass-faced magician will do no more tricks unless you update it, peasant. Mr. Soft Micro. Yeah. That's why he makes all our computers stop working, because of his soft micro. Character obviously needs to be perfect and does no wrong because that's amazing writing. You're starting to... Now I got two of the same types of flavor of sarcasm in my chat. I can tell you're related. It's funny, it's cute. Yeah, I could give myself my own advice too, which is like, well, what's the point where your character is going to get their ass handed to them by the villain, by life, by circumstance, by just the stakes rising, and then what are they going to have to face in themselves? First half of the book is them being in denial about it. Second half of the book is them trying to face it and failing, and face it and failing, and then finally in the end, resolution. Careful, you might land a job at Disney if you keep that up. Burn. Work is over. Time for a break. I didn't set any break timer, but now I'm down 2. So let's add a Pomo here because I wasted that one. Let's do 3 actually. So I get one back. Let's talk about the story circle. Sean's favorite. Go ahead, Sean. You're the most well-versed in the story circle than all of us. The very, very hard task we all just did. Yes, quite. Well, you guys are all here. I wanted to talk. And I already wrote for 10 minutes, but now we need to do another one, and it needs to be a little longer than 10 minutes. We need to, like, let ourselves really get into it. 20 minutes, maybe? I think 20 minutes feels fair. But again, I don't know. You guys tell me. You're here with me. I'll put one on Twitch. Since we all seem to be on Twitch, I'll put it on Twitch here. We won't do anything super long just because I'm not one of those people. It'll be up for a couple minutes here. All right. We have a poll going if you want to give some feedback. You left the normal world, Jay. Where it happens, he gets used to the new world. The first part of the story, the first act, has a lot to do with your character going from something normal and mundane to something unfamiliar. That's what we mean by new world. They may be actually going to a brand new world, like Portal, like a Portal fantasy, or it could just be a new life circumstance. But something in their life has to change, and now they have to deal with the change, the unfamiliar. Is the story you showed a while ago? Well, I show a lot of things from a while ago, don't I? If you're talking about the monster I feed, yes. And I was just complaining about it because it's the bane of my freaking existence. The story's gonna drive me to do drugs, I swear. I'm sick of it. Yeah. I am doing rewrites, and I'm doing kind of heavy point of view changes. It's got the same bones as my first draft, but it's becoming more fleshed out, and I'm adding more characters and changing a lot of different points of view and adding elements, and it's becoming he's like, the drugs aren't working, I'm already on all the drugs. Stephen King. It's like, you're not doing the right ones, I swear to God, you're not doing the right ones. Do you remember that interview between George R. R. Martin and Stephen King, and George R. R. Martin sits across from him and he goes, how do you write so many damn books so quick? And he's like, he doesn't say it, but we're all sitting there like, it's the drugs, man. He writes all these books because he's freaking off his rocker. He likes his crazy stuff. Yeah, no. It might be what it takes, but I don't condone. A finished story might be very, very well worth it, but it is not worth your life. It is not worth your life. No. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, well, he's worked up a routine now. He's got a routine. He says he's clean. He's also in his, 80s now? You're going to tell me an 80-year-old isn't on something? I don't believe you. Every 80-year-old you know is on some sort of drug. Just not the fun ones. He uses his writing to replace it. He's written so many books, he's reached nirvana. No, I know, Jaden. It's okay. That just don't make sense. I don't know what I'm saying. Stephen King is a piece of work. We'll just say that. He's a piece of work that makes pieces of work. If you ever have to deal with death of the author problems, that's why. If we learn one thing, it's that great, beautiful, wonderful art can come from really despicable freaking people. Artists, just because you're an artist does not mean you're a good person. It could mean the opposite, actually. You could be a piece of trash. And I'm censoring myself right now. Typewriter ink. He's just, oh, that's the stuff. The stuff he does, like the stuff in your heart and stuff. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we should get into another one. I want to at least get 3 more down in the next 60 minutes. He's got it all. 80-year-olds are on schedules, and they're taking drugs around on the clock, like it's all scheduled out. That's why he's doing what he's doing. He goes, don't talk to me about death of the author. Don't even get me started. We're all just trying to get on your level, Ghost. All right. Well, did you guys leave any suggestions in the polls? I haven't actually looked at the poll. Let's see. 25 minutes. All right. One result. 25 minutes it is. We shall do a 25-minute sprint. And during the sprint, I'm not going to be muted, but I am going to try not to respond to the chat verbally. I will go into the chat and respond if I need to. So feel free to be in the chat and talking and stuff if you want, or you can join me, whatever you like. I'm just going to try not to respond verbally for the next 25 minutes. And then we'll give ourselves a 5-minute break. Sound good? Yeah. It's helpful when they're dead. Go ahead, guys. All right, I'm starting right now. That was not too bad for me. I made it to 8:26. I think there's a break timer going. Yes, there is. I finally figured out my timer again. Yay! That's how you know it's been too long. That's how you know I've been off the streaming webs. That's okay. Did you sit and stare at that thing? Sit and stare at the words? Were you reading? Because then I would say that does count. I was telling at the beginning of the stream that I am now making my author writing workday 50% writing, 50% reading. Reading counts as work. Why? Because you have to know what you're talking about, and you don't know unless you go back and look at it. And it takes a certain level of strength you have to build up to read your work without picking it apart immediately. Sometimes you have to let something sit and breathe. You were reading comic books. So you were reading for pleasure? You know what? I'll let it slide this time. I'll let it slide. You're good. You're good. I did a tiny bit of writing and some other stuff. That's fine. It was meant as a focus section, and it was just a 20-minute full limit, a 25-minute full limit. Even if you did like 2 minutes of that, it counts. You're within the limit. I found that there's a certain magic in having an end time to do something. You don't have to start it at a specific time unless you want to, but saying you have until X, Y, and Z, until this timer goes off, and then after that timer goes off, I have to stop. That, to me, that works like lighting a fire under my butt. Like, oh! And it makes you judge your work less harshly, I think. If it's a just big, long, open-ended time frame, which can feel nice to not feel pressure. It's not meant to feel like pressure. It's meant to be like, here's your chance. It's giving you permission to have a chance to get into it. And if it doesn't go well, you still tried. People give up trying all the time. I give up trying all the time. This is a life lesson I am learning at the ripe age of 33, okay? Sometimes you just gotta light that fire under you. Don't judge it too harshly. Just let something pour out of you. And what you get, you get. The fact that you showed up is a win. That's it. Doing things for fun? Gross. All work. Nightwing and Night of Blood. Oh. I'm getting close to finishing a story. I have a question for you, Sean. How do you know you're getting close to finishing? Is it because you know the ending and you're about to put it on paper? What makes you realize you're done? That's the question I'm posing tonight. Is when is a piece that you are working on, whether it's writing, a video, artwork, whatever, how do you know when it's done? It would be cool to get it done. Yes. I think a big driver for both of us is just, I need this thing to be off my plate. I need this thing to be done and out of the way. Just the freedom you feel on the other side of it being done. But how do you know? If you try to fail, you will succeed. Yes. Reverse psychology. How do you define something being done? I write in bits and bobs, and all the bits are very close to being a whole story. I like that. I like that. I like that that works for you. I've been trying that, and the bits and bobs have still yet to find cohesion. I'm feeling like I'm reaching that point where I need to sit and organize the bits and bobs into a puzzle. And then I need to sit down and read it as a whole and then see where the holes are. See, I use whole in two different ways. Whole with a W and whole without a W. I'm trying to write a hospital scene where Jaden wakes up, but also hint that he has superpowers. Ooh. That's a good That's a good conundrum to have. How do you give hints? Define what the superpowers are, and then maybe go how would the superpowers manifest without him realizing or trying? Like what is he subconsciously able to do with the superpowers? Yay! Ghost. I'm going to give you a spoiler. I've been reading Delve again. The one you gave me years ago. Yay! I'm almost done with my chunk of Delve that you gave me eons ago. Yes! I want to know what Sean and Ghost are thinking right now. What's the feeling you have in your head right now as you're approaching the finish? How have you defined it being done? You forgot you gave me 65 pages of Delve once upon a time, and I have been getting back into it, and I am almost done with it. And I have been leaving tiny little, I'll just say comments here and there in there. And once I'm done with it, I will share it back. If you want. I'm so happy it's been so long and that you just kind of like kept going with it. I'm probably reading something you've already gone back and maybe changed. But I feel like it could be a fun thing. And I'm doing the same. I think I did the same with Sean's book. Unless he's added more. Oh no, I remember. I just did not expect you to remember. Oh, I kept it, and I kept it precious and safe. And I said, one of these days, these 65 pages are going to be all read through. And to be fair, some parts of the book I did read multiple times. Simply because there would be these long chunks of time in between where I didn't read it, and then I had to go back in and go, I forgot. Let me start from the beginning, and I had to jog my memory. So I would say I read the first, I would say I'm pretty well versed in about 50% of it. The other 50% I never allowed myself to read long enough to get into, but I'm finally there. And I'm approaching the end. And you can be mad at me all you want. It's fine. I'm proud of myself. I'm patting myself on the back like, woo, girl, you're finally doing it. Thank you. I've added so much more, you have no idea. That's so good. I'm so glad. I mean, I want the notes. Only about half the thing is edited, and I wanted to see what someone else thinks about it. They're just little comments. They're not like a full thing. And I was telling Emika I'm doing the same thing with her book, too, and I have been getting into her book, too. That's good. I thought you were going to be upset with me, like, oh, now you do it after, like, how many years ago did you give me that thing? A couple years ago now. I'm proud of me. You don't have to be proud of me. You can be mad at me. That's fine. I deserve it. But I'm going to be proud of me and be like, I'm doing it. I am reading it, and I'm writing my own shit, and it's like pulling teeth. I said shit. I try to go a stream without full-blown cussing, but here we are. The story I wrote is kind of about mermaids, pro wrestling mermaids. You know what? I'm into it. I would love to read that as well. I'm almost done with Ghosts, and I'm going to jump back into Emika's. And Emika, I've already read Emika's book, to be fair, but she's given me a second edition, so I'm reading a new version of a book I've already read. And then with Sean, he only shared a snippet of some of his stuff. And I'm not making any promises, but I very well also may be able to share something soon with you as well. But I'm gonna have to get some ducks in a row first, and that's what I'm working on right now. Is trying to figure out how to get those ducks in the right row. Snap, snap, snap. Something kettle black and whatnot. And then you guys can sit on my book for ages and not read it. Because I deserve that too. And an orc who's pro wrestling mermaids. how the pro wrestling dynamics in and out of water. Because wrestling, everything changes. Gravity changes in water. And people move slower. So yeah, I'd like to see your take on that. Woman, calm down. My incorporeal function. I get so excited. I just love sharing things with you guys and then not following through on those things I shared. But I actually scheduled it out these 3 weeks. I have 3 weeks scheduled out of how to show up and do these things. I'll make an alert to start reading your book 15 months after you send it. Promise. Good. I'll take it. It may never be published. I'm starting to kind of sit with that knowledge as well of like, this is something I've been working on so long. If I finally finish and then I look and like, this isn't something I can share. Like, this isn't something I can put out into the world and share. Like, I'm making my peace with that as well. Aw, that's so kind. Mostly because I want to get to a point where I know I can give it to you guys. And I know you guys will be kind and you'll give me your honest feedback and you'll give me nice feedback and stuff. But this story is like, it's way too personal in a way. So I'm working up the nerve to share it with people. And I have shared certain parts of it. Some people have read the whole first when I was on Storyfire, I posted almost the entire first draft of it. But it's going to be very different. It's becoming a whole different thing. And it's going to be a little bit longer too. But yeah. That's kind of the vibe right now. All right, guys. I can only stream for a little bit longer because, like I said, I've been trying to set time schedules for myself. I'm willing to go a little bit over my time. So I think the next couple sprints are going to be just a tiny bit shorter, just to make it fit. Posted on Royal Road. Breaking character a little bit. I'm honestly really glad you'd share with us, and it makes me happy they'd be willing to share it with me. Of course. Of course. Obviously, I was going to share it with you guys, and I'm just happy I'm finally dedicated to seeing it through to the point where I can. I'm giving myself a rough estimated timeline, and then at the end of this timeline, I'm gonna have to show parts of it in whatever form it's in to somebody very soon. And I want these people to give me feedback first. Not that I don't trust you guys. I do trust you guys. But I'm going through a thing. I'm gonna go to a writing retreat, okay? And I have to make a submission. So I have to clean up my submission. I have to decide what the submission is, and I have to clean it up. And then when I'm at this writing retreat, other people are going to be giving me, like, people I don't know who are not at all affiliated, or people who are not my friends or family, who are going to be nice to me and who are very just like, we're all going to be in the same space together. And I want to hear back from them. And I want to learn from them. I want to absorb knowledge from them. And then I want to take it from there. And that's going to be coming up soon. That's the goal. And then I think I'm going to have the nerve to share it with people who are rooting for me and who do care about me and who are going to be honest, but at the same time be nice. And I just want to feel like I'm on the right track with it. Because the few times I have shared with friends, I feel like I get lost in the... And this is a personal thing. Sometimes when I share work with friends, like I've been on Terrible Novelist stream a couple times, and when I'm getting feedback, it's like I'm only ingesting 20% of it. other parts of me, like, they're posing questions and I don't even really know what they're asking. And I think I always leave those critique sessions with more questions than answers and feeling less sure of myself. So I think what I'm looking for is not validation, but like specific. I don't know. I think I need to just branch out to more. I need to just open up the branch a little bit more and then go, okay, is this a complete idea or is this missing pieces? And right now it's just really hard. Writing this thing is hard. It's not fun. I actually don't enjoy writing it at all. It doesn't feel nice. And I guess I'm just forcing myself to sit with the pain because I'm kind of just done not writing it. You know, I want it to be done. They do stuff like that all over the place. And the only reason I'm going to the one I'm going to is because it's local and because it's soon and because I'm enough ahead of the game that I can schedule time off of work to go do it. All the other ones are out of state or across the world and are like, they may be far in advance, but it's just, I can't wrap my head around planning for something like that for a book that I'm still just like struggling to write. So this is just like a little pocket of time that makes sense. And still, I just talked to the lady who's doing admissions or submissions today, asking her questions. And she just got back to me with the answers. So I'm like, okay, I have a week to put my submission together. Or to decide what part to submit. Because I have to be strategic about this. I think I'm done with this draft. I might try to get into some writing contests here and try to prove myself. Writing contests did actually help me quite a lot when we were on Storyfire. There was that one guy who always occasionally put on writing contests. I was able to do some pretty decent short stories through that. And when I say decent, I just mean finished, complete, not good. I'm also curious about how my writing would engage between English and Spanish. If I can say one thing, I definitely enjoy your English prose. Ghosts, your English prose are so good. And I also kind of like when I can tell that you stopped caring a little bit. Maybe I'll write this down later. I'm trying to work through a chapter and then put some thoughts at the end of the chapter, which is sometimes you write in English and it's just it's really good. It's really meticulous and it's really like deep and I can't think of all the right words right now. And I really like it and it's immersive. And then other times you write and I can tell you just kind of stopped caring about going that... I mean, not that you don't care, but like you kind of let go a little bit. And I kind of like that too. I like when you just like very clearly are just like... I could tell you got into the story more because like the language changed a little bit. And I was like, oh, I like this. And yeah. Either way, I don't have a problem with it. Welcome back, Jaden. We're just talking about each other's writing and when do you decide you're done with something? When do you feel like you're done with something? When have you made up your mind that you're done? What are the signs you feel when something's about to be done? I made a new friend on Twitch who does really good critique streams. She's really good at stuff. Getting out there, talking to folks. As a published writer, I do have thoughts. And you can share them. I like those contests too. I kind of miss that feeling. Those contests on Storyfire were very low-key, which really helped as well. They didn't feel super serious. I like something kind of low-key. Apparently that was part of Lord Byron had put on a writing contest and Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein as a result. So sometimes writing contests, even amongst friends, can bring about some really good stuff. You're a very good writer, Ghost. You're both very good writers. Hey, sometimes a punch is just a punch. Well, I can't continue it. Like, the real answer is you're done when you can't write it anymore of your story. You're saying I'm a good writer, Sean? Sorry, my brain not working right now. Of course he is. The boost listening to Currents gave you. Oh. Like, if you can't write anymore, like, that's it. Yeah, sometimes there's just, like, an empty feeling. When I write short stuff, that's how I feel of, like, I said it. That makes sense. And then other times I'm like, this isn't done, but I don't know why it's not done. Like, for me, I have concepts of a plan for my novella. And those concepts are very, very muddy. But I know that means that it's not done yet. Like, I know it's not done, but getting to the finish line of done still feels really, really nebulous. It's a big nebulous mess that I'm trying to fit into 30,000 words. And fitting it into 30,000 words is proving very challenging. And when you read it, when I finally give it to you, you guys read it and be like, why was this so hard for her? I don't understand. I couldn't tell you. It's the bane of my existence right now. Send it off to a publisher. Goated trilogy. My favorite trilogy of movies will forever be How to Train Your Dragon. Those are very good. They supersede the source material for sure. And they have very good emotional punch. And soundtrack, which helps a lot. I mean, you're never going to get everything you need. Right, exactly. Yeah. How to Train Your Dragon 2 is fantastic. I actually would like to watch the third one again because I haven't watched the third one in forever. I watched the first one nonstop because it's been out for so many years, but the third one I haven't watched in a hot second. Why is this so hard as me with Delve? I finished a chapter that I'm like, bruh, that could not have been the Sisyphean task you say it was. Yes! Yes! We're going to be reading each other's work being like, you had no idea how hard this was. And we're going to be reading it like, why does this seem hard? For me, it was. It was so hard. The third may be my least favorite in the trilogy. It's still an amazing movie. I know I cried watching the third one, so it has to be good if I cried, right? If I cried during that movie and that's what I remember, I didn't actually remember the movie, I just know I cried. It must be a forgettable yet good movie. At some point you just need to say up to the fates. Yeah. Maybe that's part of me going to this writing retreat, is just me being like, if someone else can look at this and go, yeah, what you have here seems pretty complete, that would help me a lot, because I think I'm stuck in, but there's so much more that could happen. And it's like, it's a novella, girl. It's not meant to be long. It's not meant to be expansive. You have to make up your mind on something. Plotting it is difficult, but it doesn't mean that the bones I haven't written down aren't good bones, you know. The bones are good. I just don't know how fat to make it. I don't know how much muscle, how much fat, how much skin. I don't know. I don't know the form on top of the skeleton. I'm trying to figure that out, and that's really hard. Save other ideas for later. True. Very valid. I keep talking too much. Let's do another, like, shorter one. Let's do, like, a 15 minutes. And then I might actually call it a little soon. I might call it short soon, but I plan to stream again soon, so we can make up for it later. I think the reason why How to Train Your Dragon 3 was kind of forgettable is not as remarkable as the first one and not as perfect as the second one. Yeah. Maybe you should sit down and, like, figure out how, if you could do an essay or a video essay explaining your reasons why you think 3 was forgettable compared to the other two counterparts, you know, because I like to hear people's opinions on that. As like, well, everybody has their own subjective opinion on something. But some people can agree, like, this third one was just lacking something that the other two had. What is it specifically that the other two had that this third one was lacking? That kept you engaged? I like those types of things. I'd love to hear your take on it, Jaden. Yes, I want to see something, Sean. We'll see about that. We'll see about that, Ghost. We'll see about that. If they crossed over with Shrek 5. I don't know how to feel about Shrek 5. Shrek 5 kind of gives me the ick. Alright, I'm going to pull this up. Hold on a second, guys. We're going to take a look at this real fast, and then I'm going to do another 15-minute. Ooh, I have done a great sin. Who is Roman Arndell? Are they some up-and-coming Pulitzer Prize-winning author? You can't be up-and-coming at Pulitzer Prize-winning, but, you know, maybe this one is. Claps. Claps, claps, claps. I'm going to save this. I'm going to save this and read it. There's a previous chapter and a next chapter. It won't let me click on it. Oh, no, there isn't yet. But eventually there will be. Reader preference. Royal Road. I think you showed me this before. Sounds good. Technically, SL is just a combination of the letters S and L, which are my first and second initials. So, I see you. I see you. Let's go! And you're almost done with your other one. Oh my god. So exciting. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to read it off. I'm going to read it off stream. If you're okay with that. Thank you for sharing. I've done a great sin. That's a good... Is that a... Oh no, to build a rocket mall. So this is chapter 1. I have done a great sin. I like this. I like this. Oh, go off. I love that. Nice choice. 5 stars. It won't let me. I need to make an account to give you 5 stars. I'll make an account. It's okay. I'll do it. All right, guys. For real. I'm in the middle of this sprint. My alarm's going to go off on my phone telling me to stop streaming. So let's do at least 15 more minutes, and then I'm going to call it a night. And then next stream, we'll pick up again. Or maybe we'll do something completely different. I might do digital art again. I want to do more digital art. So, we'll see. We'll see. The schedule. I'll share the schedule with you guys. You guys are on Stowed, right? I'll put it on Stowed. And I'll be updating that schedule. And that's going to be my streaming schedule. Funny story, I posted this by mistake. I thought it was just uploading. I did not know it was going to be public. Can you make private stories on Royal Road, or are they all public? Oh, you've got chapter 2 in there as well. Okay, I see what you mean. This was not on purpose. This was on accident. But not bad. Not a bad accident. I don't know, maybe. Okay. If you want us to read it, I'll totally read it. I'm just going to read it off stream. And then I'll catch up with you. And I have it bookmarked. I have it saved, so I won't lose it unless you take it down. Okay. All right, 15 minutes, guys. We got to do it. Or else I won't be happy with myself. And we'll just have this be the end. Here we go. Last one of the night. I'm surprised the stream hasn't gone down. Yes, yes, yes. I know. We'll end soon. alarm. Okay. 2 minutes. Not quite. Very distracted. Very, very distracted. Two minutes. I finished already. Ironically, I finished. I gotta put it somewhere where I can find it again. Of course I didn't save it. Yeah, of course. I copy pasted something else. Alright, guys. It's been nice. I'm happy to be back. Wrote a lot, all things considered. I would consider today a good day of writing. I want to do it again. I'm going to actually open Stoat and give you guys my tentative writing schedule. I have to find it quick. This should all be things I do after the fact. I'm gonna copy it again. There we go. I'm gonna put this in here before I lose it. There we go. Now it's saved. Save your work. Don't lose it. Save your work. Thanks for coming. I'm proud of my progress too. I'm proud of you too. Finishing a chapter. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm proud of you too, Sean, posting on Royal Road and getting closer to being done with your bits and bobs. Jaden, I'm proud of you showing up and thinking about writing. Because when life gets hectic, life gets hard, you're not feeling the best, or your mental health is like all over the freaking place. And sometimes just sitting down with the intent to do something and just sitting there, but you showed up is good too. I didn't used to believe that. I used to think if I sat down and just stared at a blank page for the entire time and didn't write a single word, that was still failure. It's better when you show up. It's better when you show up and even do, like, nothing. Because showing up and putting in the time, I will sit with this recent revelation as a final word, which is there are 3 things that we tend to value very highly in our society, which is time, money, and energy. And sometimes we have those 3 things sort of on a hierarchy, and we tend to put money at the top for obvious reasons. But when you really think about it, time and energy should really be above money. And putting in time and energy into your creative work is showing dedication more to on a level that is almost more than you would be putting in money. Right? So when you have a job that if you don't have like a specialization, if you don't have a degree and you get a job that's just any old job, the reason they're compensating you and paying you is for your time and your energy. You are trading time and energy for money. And if you really think about it, your time and your energy are very valuable. They're probably more valuable than what you're being compensated for. So value your time, value your energy, and when you dedicate at least just a little bit of it to your art, that's still showing up in a really huge way. Showing up is half the battle, exactly. And when you win that battle, that's victory. So, on that note, I'm going to finally peace out. I'm 15 minutes over my time. I'm going to post the schedule in Stoat, and if I can figure out a way to put it on Twitch without me having to go in and individually put each stream, I'll do that as well. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. It's good to see you guys. Best of luck until I see you again.